This Warriors Life podcast 2024, another edition of That's My Team. Will Evans and Brad Larking awaiting the team list for the round 16 clash between the Warriors and Gold Coast Titans. Seabus Super Stadium on Saturday, 3 o'clock local time, 5 p.m. New Zealand time. Brad, he's only a couple of days removed from his big weekend in the city. Mate, how are you? You recovered from all the air travel and
it was
bad
just
pillows?
a short, sharp kick up the arse that weekend, I tell you. Far out. It was a whirlwind up at, started at 4:30 Saturday morning because I had to get on the red eye out of here. Is it the red eye, the morning one or the evening one?
Nah. Red eye's overnight.
Yeah. Oh, is it? Oh, maybe not then. Real early anyway. I got up real early, 4:30, and then I was in the shed. And I'm not a good flyer, so I was sitting here waiting for mate to pick me up. And the bar fridge was right beside me, so I was like, I'll have one just to ease the nerves. And then Danny waited another 10 minutes, so I biffed another one back, and I was really set up well for the flight then. And everything after that was just come up Millhouse for old Brad. What a weekend! It wasn't until I got home that I actually had a moment to think about how busy and the cool things I had managed to get up to over 24 hours, 28 hours. So absolute rip snorter, well worth it. Don't regret anything. Amazing.
How was the flying? Because you flew into Wellington in the end.
Nah, the flights were mellow both ways. So that helped the nerves a bit. I had the stinking, your three seats. Window, middle, aisle. Window knows they don't get an armrest because they got the window, and aisle gets one armrest because they got the aisle. This knob gobbler next to me in the aisle seat took up both elbows, elbows on two armrests, and then was just asleep and sort of semi-lunging on me and that. It's quite funny. Every now and then,
so good.
Do you know when you get spooked? Woken up, and you wake up, and for some reason you just shit yourself. He done it at one stage, and for a split second didn't know where he was or where he was, and he realised he was on a plane pretty quick. But just that was, I had a little snigger, like, yeah, that's what you get, you wanker. Spook woken on a plane.
Yeah. Geez, you'd be happy that all these plane dramas in Queenstown happened after your trip.
I know.
Jeez, it's all happening. That lady that got hot coffee poured on her, and then in turbulence, and then an engine caught on fire and had to get diverted to Invercargill.
Yeah, it's been. And I think I heard wasn't there someone injured coming into Dunedin today? Yeah. Was that the coffee one?
I thought that was Queenstown, but maybe it was Dunedin.
Oh, did you get coffee on it? Because when I was flying back, and it started just as they were doing the tea and coffee, she started to have a little shimmy, a shake, old airplane movie. Is it shuddering? Is it shudder? And I was looking at my cup on my lap. I was like, oh, Jesus, I don't know if that was a wise decision, dishing out 200 hot coffees onto people's laps when we're juggling around. But yeah, it looks, it's a dodgy old operation, the coffee on a plane. But yeah, that Jetstar one going off the runway the other week was enough for me. But yeah, it's actually, I'd talk it up. It wasn't actually, I'm not that terrified of it. But
it's fine when it's smooth. And you're off the plane. Imagine had a good vape, and then you were heading around to a celebrity's house.
Yeah, that was under false pretense. That too. I thought, oh no, I'll just go straight into this podcast. He's, nah, come around home. And I was like, oh,
this is Mike Minogue, by the way.
Yeah. So I was like, oh nah, I'll go straight there. I didn't want to cruise into some dude I don't know, just hang around there like a weirdo in the corner until it was left. So, but he said, nah, come around. But I went around there, and the maggot, he goes, oh, you're doing a cuppa. You got a bit of work to do. And I sort of sniggered at it. But no, sure as shit. In his lounge, he's got his toolbox open and all his tools out, and there's a TV ready to be hung on the wall. So he really put it. And then he just sat, how nothing worse than someone watching your work. Yeah, he just sat there and punched coffees on the couch and just waited for me to fuck up, I reckon. But I nailed it. I think I earned a little bit of respect there. I smashed it. So, yeah. And then after this...
He seems like he'd be quite handy, but is he not really a handyman type?
I don't know. I wouldn't. Yeah, I don't know enough about the guy to sort of pass judgment. Maybe not. I don't know. He seems logical. Yeah, that's all you really need. I don't know. We'll never clue. Yeah, I don't know.
Putting a TV up though, that you got to get that.
Oh, I know. It's
bang
critical.
on.
Yeah, that needs to be ship shape, and yeah. So I was tapping around the walls, and in the end, I didn't find. I was having a tap, making it. You think trying to find a stud didn't sound anything different anywhere, so I just had to blind run it in the end, and yeah, lucky for me, I hit something. I don't know what it
Stays
is.
up.
It's probably the back of his toilet system.
And we won't spoil the surprise, but podcast episode coming out tomorrow, hopefully, from Brad's in-studio experience, and I was regrettably zoomed in from Amberley since I didn't make it, but it was a good experience, nevertheless.
OB, I think it's called. You were OBing, offsite broadcasting.
Oh yeah.
So you couldn't make it. You were just OBing. Yeah.
Oh yeah, just a classic OB.
Yeah.
And yeah, so you got that done. Probably all a bit sort of scrambled, I imagine, from the experience. Then you headed into the accommodation.
Yeah, got there, and this was the next thing. I was a little bit hungry, so I put my bags in, caught up with Wheeze, but he was no good to anyone. He was so hungover from the night before. He went and had a snooze. I was like, oh, I'll go grab something to eat. I went downstairs, and then the first place I seen was Hell's Pizza. I was like, yeah, sweet. Went in there. And I don't know why. I went into a Hell's Pizza and ordered ribs and onion rings. And then I sort of got them. I was like, geez, I wonder who the last person was to order ribs and how long these ribs have been prepped and sitting in a white bucket under the bench there. And the first bite I had of that I thought I was going to be in deep shit. I thought they were off for sure, and they just repeated on me for the next 15 hours. And then I went and had it. I watched the New South Wales Cup game in bed, actually. Watched that and had a little snooze. And before we know it, we're up again and shooting out to Mount Smart.
Yeah, good times. You popped into Lily World.
Yeah, we did. We did, actually. Yeah, that's a cool little spot. I like that. Yeah. Went in there, stood in line for a beer or a cider for about 20 minutes. Then quickly dumped the beer because by the time we sort of got it was just about time to go in and get our seats for the game. Although that was Minogio's fault, actually. He was sure as shit the game started at 7. Then we get in there and looked at the thing and it was a 7:30 kickoff. So we could have maybe got another one.
There was a way you could have found out.
So we done that, caught up with a cup there. It was a couple of listeners. Andrew, he was a good bugger. He popped up and said hello. Actually, I have to apologise too. There was a couple of other message requests in the old messenger. Once I checked when I got home the other night, people asking if I was actually there. So sorry, lads. I wasn't ignoring you. I just didn't check anything until I got home. By then, it's too late. You're not coming to my place.
Now, this podcast brought to you by Kingz Container Crew, of course, our highly valued sponsors, the best container crew in the business for your container packing and unpacking solutions, Australia and New Zealand wide. Head to kingskontainercrew.com, or if you want to work with them, hit the Work With Us tab. Yeah. Love you, Kingz boys, and they put up Mike, Brad, and Wheeze at the TAB club rooms for the game. How was it?
Yeah, it was what an ideal way, like I said on that little clip the other day, what an ideal way to watch your first game rather than just being able to cruise around and feel comfortable, enjoy an atmosphere rather than being jammed in a seat. No offense to what I'd usually be doing anyway. So yeah, that was mint. Easy access to your beer, just cruising there. Great seats. We just browed it because the rain was coming down and there was like a row in front of us getting wet, and we stayed dry where we were, so that was a bonus. Yeah, all in all, it was ideal, perfect. I was surprised. I was actually pleasantly surprised. I don't know why. I thought Mount Smart might have been a bit worse nick than it actually is, but it's well
Yeah, it's
maintained
not bad.
setup, isn't it? Yeah, I
Mm.
always thought it might be just and maybe it was a few years ago, but I think they've been pumping a bit of money in it lately as well. But geez, they got that place looking nice at the moment.
And your experience of the game?
Yeah, it was that first 20 was almost so shock and quick and crazy that you couldn't really get into it. You had only just sort of sat down, so it was hard to be right up, pumped up like that straight away. And it was over before we'd able to all of a sudden, because you sit down and you have a yarn, a bit of a catch up, and you watch the footy, and it's like, whoa. So by the time we were sort of invested in the game, Melbourne had almost started coming back at us. But everything happened right down in the corner in front of us. That flick pass from Chance, wasn't it? Out to Montoya, that was down in the corner in front of us. That was ripper to see. But no, it was, real good. I thought it was a good game. It's a lot different then. Like I was reading your player ratings the other day, and and it's not that I disagree, but it's just seeing him live in action. Adam Fanua-Blake, wow, what a monster, man! He just just every time he just took it up, he just stands there, gets his feet out wide, gets a big wide base, and they can't get. It's like trying to tip a bloody Mitsubishi Delica onto its roof, getting him on his back. He was so like impressively strong in the flesh. I thought in the weekend he was one of the ones that I come away thinking it had a great game. Tohu didn't he look tired again?
Yeah, he only played the 44 minutes, came on, I think, with 13 minutes to go in the first half, but maybe still a bit undercooked.
Did we?
A bit laboured with his playmaking, and got through plenty of work stats-wise, but just not quite the same punch as we're probably used to seeing.
I hope we didn't Jason Taumalolo him last year and just wear him into retirement. He looks absolutely knackered, that guy. Hope he is just carrying a little bit and he comes up fresh. Gee, there's some injuries though, eh? This team name in a few minutes is going to be interesting.
Yeah, we are still unsure about who's in and out. Looks, thinking Berry is going to be out along with the suspended Dallin. And a couple of boys on Origin duty. I kind of forgotten the pod yesterday with Fonz, with Mitch Barnett being 18th man. He probably won't be let out to play for the Warriors.
Is that why he? Yeah, okay.
Sometimes they let 19th and 20th men back out to play club footy, but if he is 18th man, then he's probably no go. So probably 4 spots up for grabs. Maybe 5 if Pompey is ruled out, but we'll see what happens in a few minutes' time. Speaking of Dallin, that's probably a good time to chuck in our Serenity Now moment of the week.
Serenity now! Serenity now!
Our Dallin's coat hanger was probably the headliner of the frustrations, but for me it was his 2 bad moments under the high ball in the space of a minute that allowed the Storm to get, I think it was their second try. Came flying into. I do like it when they attack the ball, but it was probably one that you play the percentages and don't go for. That gave them the extra set, and then got out jumped. And his opposite winger goes in to score. Just bad night at the office for Dallin, and he'll sit out this week.
Just on that kicking, that's another thing I noticed at the game is where Hughes was dropping the ball when he was putting the bombs up, as he wasn't always just peppering the line, and it's almost like he was purposely trying to get it on the 20 or the 15 to bring Dallin forward and sort of have the defense make the defense that much closer on him as well. So there was a little bit of pressure. He was bringing forward, had to make a call. He had to, so I thought Hughes' kicking game was awesome. The way he sort of just dropped it in different places where ours was just always at 1 meter out from the goal line. His ones had a little bit more going on, I thought.
Yeah, probably
Um,
the difference on the night individually. Like think our pack was probably better. Our back
yeah,
line didn't have the best game, but yeah, Hughes had it all over his opposing halves.
yeah. We had them. We up until those sim binnings, we were on top. For just the
Mm.
buzz around the ground, the crowd was into it. Yeah, everyone was in behind. It was sort of the loudest the crowd had been the whole game because again, it was more stunned at the start of the game. It didn't get too fever pitch and then stunned and then got started to roll over. But yeah, that second half, it looked like good things were going to happen and until ding dang do, thank you, 2 in the bin.
Did you have any Serenity Now moments from the weekend in
No
general?
footy related, but that delightful hotel room you got me, and I know I've already had a nudge at you about the pillows, but there was another thing. And it was awesome. Each 2-bedroom apartment, each had their own ensuite off of it. But I get in there and I sort of go to bed at night and I turn the light on and the fan's going. I'm like, oh yeah. And I turn the light switch off and the fan's still going. I was like,
Ah,
right, eh? And then I looked around, there's no other switches. You couldn't turn this fan off. So
did
all
it
night,
automatically turn off? Or
no,
did it just stay on?
just stayed on. I was in bed all night in bed, just going, like, and it just broke every time I woke up because of the shit pillow giving me a bad neck. Then you couldn't get to sleep because you'd start concentrating on the whirring of this engine, and that was a killer. I reckon I only slept probably 3 hours at night. And funny, I had a little chuckle to myself. I got up, I was sort of pissed off, and I thought I might have been overthinking it. Going, nah, Brad, this is just you being a dick. Anyone would. It's obviously a thing. People can handle this. Grow up, man. I get out, sort of scratching my ass, walking into the lounge about to make a cuppa. And Wheeze gets up, and the first thing he goes, "Can you turn your fan off?" So he'd been in his room battling the same thing. I felt justified. It was quite a nice moment. Yeah. So yeah, that's my
How was
serenity now.
Weez didn't keep you awake with his snoring? I shared a hotel room with him for the semi-final last year, and Jesus Christ, I had to keep reaching over and like prodding him awake just so I could get back to sleep.
No, there was a good separation. We were on 2 sides of so that was like ripping the curtains off the wall, was he? Sucking them in, hailing them out.
I'm totally on board with you about shit pillows. It drives me nuts. And
Why do they have to be so big and hard?
Yeah, or real like poor quality, like they've just shoved a bunch of cotton wool in a sack.
Yeah, you can feel each. It's like clumps, isn't it? It's all full of clumps.
I'm not going to name any names, but there's two friends and family that stay with regularly. They got nice house, beautiful Manchester, perfect, guest experience.
Yeah.
They can afford some fucking half decent pillows, and they just let the whole thing down with bad pillows. Always have a fucking average sleep because they're
a shithouse pillow.
Too stingy with the pillows. Yeah.
I run 2 pillows. I have one on my side and one on the head, folded, and the one on my head's folded in half as well. To
really?
make, where it folds, the round where it folds on itself, it makes a little lump thicker there because and I put that, and that's under my neck. Yeah, and then I cuddle the other one like a teddy bear because Trace doesn't let me near
her. You had a bit of a wait after the game with a bit of a parking situation.
That was a stitch up. Yeah. These boys making a bit of money on the side, selling car parks at sort of industrial workshops, etc. Pull up. How much? $30. And it's like $30. Yeah, and we looked at a sign next door. Well, that one's 20. And he's like, and Weeze goes, I've got 10. He goes, yep. And he parked us in, but then proceeded to park. I don't know. It was just one. There was 2 of us sort of parked under this carport canopy bit. And then they parked a Ranger across the front of these 2 cars. So we couldn't get out because there was a pillar in the way. And yeah, it was like that Dom DeLuise candid camera. It's like, this can't be happening. But yeah, so that was a pain in the ass. Oh, it was all good though. You got to see the drunkens come out of the game. It's entertaining. Jesus, how does no one get friggin' shitbowled by that train every 10 minutes, eh? I was thinking I was going to see something like Grand Theft Auto, just bodies flying all over the joint.
Yeah. You got some door-to-door service from a New Zealand celebrity. That's pretty decent.
Lucky boy. I'm a lucky boy, and and then the rest is history now. And I'm bound to be more stories coming out about it soon.
What'd you get from White Lady Takeaways?
I got the beef and bacon
Good.
burger. Yeah, delicious. Just it's not
Fucking
even
good, eh?
Oh, it's not even like how you get your Ferg burgers, these gourmet burgers. It's just a bloody good fish and chip shop burger, eh? Yeah, it was. I was a little bit iffy because none of them looked like the original owners in there. And I was like, hang on, how's this going to go? But yeah, spot on, absolutely spot on.
Anything else from the trip, Brad? Because our team lists have dropped.
Have they? No, that's probably enough. I'll just dust more stories as my memory comes back over the coming weeks. What have you got? Well, is it exciting?
Oh, I've just caught a name there that has left me thoroughly underwhelmed.
Oh,
run through the team list. Warriors take on the Titans this Saturday. Fullback Chance Nickel-Klokstad on the wings. Edward Cossey and Marcelo Montoya. In the centres, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck and Adam Pompey. Tomato Martin and Sean Johnson in the halves. Adam Fanua-Blake and Jackson Ford, the props, with Wade Egan at hooker. In the second row, Marata Nyukure and Dylan Walker in the second row. Tohu Harris at lock, starting. And an interchange of Chanel Harris, Tavita, Jazz Tavanga, and coming into the interchange, Jacob Laban and Tom Ale. Our reserve contingent of Bunty Afoa, Tain Tuapiki, Moala, Graham Tolfa, Freddie Lussick, Dimitri Sifakula. What do you make of that, Brad? Me and Fons talked at length, and we were probably hoping for, I was definitely hoping for another run for Moala, Graham Tolfa, certainly at the expense of Ed Cossey, and potentially failing that, Chance Nickel-Klokstad into the centres with Tain Tuapiki to go to fullback. But it's probably my least preferred option.
Yeah,
this one.
I think that's how I'm feeling about it as well. That if this is Ed's last shot, surely
there's too many good options.
I know
there's too many good options to be.
He hasn't. It's reputation that's got him. I don't know. Even watching a few New South Wales Cup games, I don't think he's been lighting it up as much as that young fella on the other wing.
No.
Surely
he did nothing on the weekend, and I didn't notice him hardly at all on the weekend. Graham Tolfa can play on the wing too, and I'm not sure it's probably a bit too early for this 18-year-old, but I think he's already got Ed covered for ability.
Yeah. But I hadn't even gone down that Chance to centre, Taupiki to fullback. I wouldn't have minded that as well. Yeah, there's a couple of options. I'm glad. I'm stoked Pompey's not injured. I think he got a chance to cement his spot as one of the centres next wee while, and see what Roger does. It's going to be hard to usurp those two out if when he becomes fit again.
So we'll see what edge Roger comes back on. Obviously, his games at centre so far have all been on the left. Pompey most often on the left last year and this year, but he has played a fair bit of right centre as well. So we'll see who turns up on what edge.
The other interesting takeaway,
Cossey on the right wing.
The other one takeaway I've took from that too. Bunty's dropped a couple of pegs, hadn't he?
Yeah, I thought that he might, and he had a big game in New South Wales.
Yeah,
Cup.
He did.
I thought he might come, it was probably between him and Ale, and Big Tommy's been playing pretty well when he gets the chance. I don't think he played Cup. He was maybe in the extended bench first grade. But yeah, I prefer Laban getting another chance.
I prefer those two at the moment as well. I think that's where Bunty does sit in the pecking order at the moment, maybe, especially the way Ali needs to be rewarded for how he's been going.
And there was an option to bring Jackson Ford back into the second row, and and have Ale Bunty both in there, but Dylan Walker getting the start in the second row. But
how much are Jackson Ford and James Fisher Harris going to love playing with each other next year? Just two absolute maniacs out there. It'd be like Scooby and Scrappy Doo.
Yeah. So that's our team, Brad. On paper, looking pretty. It's like we should have it over the Titans. They'll be missing. Who have they got on Origin duty? Just Mo Fodawaker, running through the Titans team list. Fullback Keno Kinney, he's been in good touch, the Kiwi.
Yeah.
On the wings, Alafayana, Khan Pereira, and Jojo Fafita. So Ed and Marcelo will have their hands full.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Plenty of pace and strike there. Brian Kelly did a number on us on Anzac Day, and Phil Sami's got a ton of pace as well. So a lot of strike and a lot of pace in that back five. Jaden Campbell's been playing some good footy at 5'8", and he'll be there with Kieran Foran. We know what he can do. The forward pack lines up Keenan Palacia and Josiah Pahulu in the front row, Chris Randall at hooker, David Fafita returns in the second row, overlooked by Queensland. Bo Fermor is the other second row, and Aaron Clark, the one-game warrior at lock. Pretty handy player, Aaron Clark. Interchange of Sam Verrills, Isaac Liu, the Kiwi international, and Isaac Fa'asua Malawi and Joe Stimson. So a pretty fair lineup there, given
it
that
is, isn't it?
they're missing their number. Well, they're obviously Big Tino is out for the year. Fodawaker's taken over as their sort of number one man in the middle, but
gee, that back
there's an
five's
opportunity
scary.
there for us. Yeah. We're just, if we get out to a lead, you just don't want to see them put the cue in the rack or start giving away penalties, which is exactly what happened on Anzac Day, because the Titans can make you pay. They can score long-range tries and they can put on quick points, but we should have them. We should be all over them through the middle. Adam Fanua-Blake, Jackson Ford, Tohu. Great matchup there. Marata and David Fafita potentially opposing each other. I'm not 100% sure. I think
I feel a little bit
on the
safer
left.
about that.
Yeah, that's a mouth-watering matchup there. Yeah. I mean, we've got to win it, I think. There's a missed opportunity against the Storm. Not that we, fully expected, I guess, that we were going to come away with the win, but all of a sudden, this feels like a must-win for the finals. Start losing, you have to start chasing points, and every win just becomes much more crucial. This is one they have to bank. You can't be dropped. The Titans are last on the ladder. So you can't be. Yeah, we've already dropped one game to them. Dropping another would be disastrous.
That would be embarrassing. I think we've got them. What's Ladbrokes? What's early mail on this stuff?
Ladbrokes, a proud supporter of this Warriors Life as well. You'll be able to see my round 16 preview of all 5 matches up tomorrow. And we've shortened slightly since the market opened. We're $1.53 for the win. Titans $2.55, and the line set at 6 points. So that seems about right to me. Titans, couple of bad weeks. They knocked over the Broncos a couple of weeks ago. And then, they're proven as flighty as ever, got an absolute hiding from South Sydney and then lost to the Tigers. So, and the Tigers weren't that great either. So
of course they have. So they're due a good game, are they? Maggots.
Back to the drawing board for Desi, but it's certainly dangerous and certainly a team that you can't. They almost knocked over Melbourne as well. They've been
unlucky, haven't they, this year?
Terrible to support. Yeah, but then they come out and get absolutely flogged by, teams that they should be hoping to compete with.
Yeah.
And losing to the team coming last.
I think you're right.
Yeah, danger game though. I think
It
remember
is.
last year we went to the Gold Coast. Fodawake actually got sent off in I think the 15th minute or so, and we had to battle to get past them. Some Sean brilliance sort of got us over the line, and Dallin as well was great that day. 28-18, but it was a nervy one. So not super easy. They've come back and had the better of this rivalry in recent times. We won 16 of 18 against the Titans from 2011 to 2019, and that included an 8-match winning streak at Seabus Super Stadium. But in the last few years, the Titans have won 5 of the last 7. We got that win last year, but that's the only win from their last 4 matches against the Titans.
Oh, wow.
Jaden Campbell 4 tries and 4 career appearances against the Warriors. Hopefully we can turn that around.
You're right. It is must win. And it's not because it's them either. We can't be dropping 2 in a row. If we've got to at least be going 50-50 from here on in, we can't be chasing probably more than 50-50 to get there. But
and this is where we started our charge last year, was making hay during this origin period and stringing wins together. So, dropping 2, all of a sudden we're, looking at just scraping into the finals at best rather than staying in the mix for maybe top 4 or at least a home elimination final, which is where you really want to be.
Oh, wow.
So,
it's my favourite time slot. Favourite time slot.
Yeah.
This one for me. 5 o'clock on a Saturday. It's a ripper. Jeez,
I'll actually be watching this one at 3 p.m. because I'll be on a little holiday in Melbourne.
Australia.
So anyone out there who's got a good tip for a good bar in central Melbourne to go and watch this, I've been eyeing up a few near Federation Square and the like, but if anyone's got a hidden gem that I might not know about, that will play some NRL, preferably with the sound on. I think most of these places are sound off.
Yeah, there must be somewhere. Might end up in a TAB or something.
Good bunch of blokes in there to hang out with for a couple of hours.
Sweet. I had a couple more things to go over, but I'm running out of time here. I'm sorry, Will.
No, that's okay, mate. We can touch on it next time.
Yeah. Keep the powder dry, we can't use up everything every week.
Yeah. Okay, mate. Thanks for joining me for another That's My Team.
That's my team.
Take it easy. Have the rest of the week off, mate.
I bloody will. Although Trace is away on school camp, so it's me and Odie fending for ourselves. It'll be like when Marge goes to prison. There'll be just everything piled under the mat in the lounge. We'll be wearing
dressing him up for the school show.
What have you got for lunch? A playing card with peanut butter smeared on it. Sweet. So I got that to look forward to. But otherwise, you enjoy your holiday, bruv. Hopefully you're on the mend. You seem a bit perkier, and we'll
getting some colour back and starting to knock this back injury on the head.
Getting some colour back.
Not looking forward to the flight, but we'll dose up and get myself over there.
Yeah. Sweet. Oh, well, all the best with that, mate, and we'll catch up.
Yeah, cheers, bro. Thanks to Kingz Container Crew, Ladbrokes. Go on the mix and pick game. Have you got time for me to run through this?
Sorry. Always got time. I'll always make time for Brian, although I didn't on Saturday. Apologise, Brian.
I fucked up. I was meant to do this before. So Brian sent through the numbers from the weekend. 186 fans played a new record for mix and pick.
Thanks, crew.
Aiming towards the 200 now. So, listeners, if you can share the game, be bloody good to get a few more.
Yeah, it'd be cool just to get a little team record together, wouldn't it? All of us combined, stacking some numbers.
The winner with 8 points, he won the tiebreaker. Tally Munger.
Did he win the tiebreaker?
Buddy Tally, the Raiders supporter. We've heard us mention regularly on the show. He's a very competitive type, and he's been chomping at the bit to win this one. So I'll get him his lime green This Warriors Life tee out in the mail ASAP.
Is that what colour he's going? I hope he is. That would be
I don't think I'll give him a choice.
Smack him up.
And he's moved up to 7th in the season leaderboard with that effort.
Jeez,
and he was one of the few to get the Die Hard trivia right. Really stumped you guys with this one. Which of these players did not feature in the famous 28-14 victory in 2015 over the Storm?
So annoying. I just watched that this afternoon.
Yeah. And you didn't, and you would have seen John O'Wright. You would have seen Raymond Faitala Mariner. You would have seen Saliva Havili, but you didn't see Dominic Payru, did you?
No, I did not. I did not. Yeah.
We were both on 7 points. We're only one off the win. I reckon if I wasn't so drugged up, I could have taken that one out last week.
I should have done the last minute little live switches. I think that's where you can do the reel quite late.
Yeah.
But I was just caught up in the moment.
And last week's winner, Valerie, only 2 points. It just shows how topsy-turvy roller coaster it can be.
She's still on Mad Monday last week, celebrating still, just on it. Good on you. Was it Val? Yeah, just paint the town red. That a girl.
Getting around in a TWR t-shirt, absolutely living it up. I think she must go chips in on a massive Warriors win. That's her strategy.
Fair enough.
She set a new record in a 30-point win, and then only 2 points when the Warriors lost. So, Brian's got a tip for you novice players out there of the Mix and Pick TWR Challenge. Tap a profile, and you can follow a fan, friend, or frenemy. They'll be highlighted in leaderboards. Then next time you're answering questions, if they have already answered, you'll see their choices, so you can plot your strategy to take them down.
Oh, the world domination of this Warriors Life Mix and Pick. Yeah, nice. He's forever developing that. It's actually improving week on week, isn't it?
There's always the wheels are always turning.
Yeah,
and Brian's noggin there. But I think that'll do us, mate.
Yeah,
Have your tea, and we'll talk to you later in the week. We'll probably player ratings, Kingz Container Crew player ratings. I'll probably knock them out sometime on Sunday while I'm still away. We'll get some sort of game review thing going at some point, and go again. Thanks everyone.
Up the wires, down the tittins.
Okay. Take it easy.
See you, Bob.